Well, it's quite nice when you watch the Chelsea Flower Show and see that a lot of the garden designers have caught up with what we've been doing here for years in Norfolk. It's actually rush hour here on Friday just before a bank holiday, and as you can see, absolute hectic, isn't it? Let's go and have a look at some of these meadow plantings in a little bit more detail. The cow parsley here in this garden is always one of the wonderful features of late May. These tufts of white flowers held so beautifully on slender stems, and the growth of the leaf is very, very open. As you can see, not a lot of leaf on a cow parsley plant when it's growing naturally in a grass meadow like this. But if you go closer into this meadow, there's a lot more happening than just the cow parsley, which is so dominant at this time. Oxeye daisy is one of the most reliable and wonderful of the wild daisies that will grow and colonize into a natural grass meadow. They're so easy to grow and propagate and will seed really reliably. They're absolutely wonderful and give you a quite long display of these lovely white flowers with their very delicate twin layers of petals and then this dense central buttercup yellow in the middle. Really nice, easy one to grow. And behind it, let's go and see this campion. And this is red campion. A lot of it's pink really, isn't it? It comes in a variety of shades. Some you'll see really, really dark, others almost a powdery pink or white. Again, seeds very reliably, mixes really well with the oxeye daisies, cow parsley above it. Very easy to grow and will reliably seed all over your garden. The little plants are quite easy to identify. Let's go and see if I can find a very young example to show you exactly what you should be looking for in your seed beds. Well, this is typical of a slightly scarified or disturbed area of soil where you'll encourage the young seedlings to come up for next year. And let me just run you through what we've got here. These are the young campion plants. Quite a broad leaf, furry and hairy. If you turn on the underside, it's covered in a series of little hairs. We've also got young cow parsley coming up here. These are forget-me-nots. And at the back here, I think we've got some, this is young oxeye daisy with the serration along the leaves there showing through. So a whole mixture of seedlings coming up. And all we've done here is from the previous year where these plants have been growing and have seeded naturally into the soil. By removing areas of the thick grass, we've allowed them to germinate by letting the light hit the soil surface and the moisture come through. So just scarifying it, removing some of the heavy perennial grass, taking out any non-flowering perennial weeds like nettles, docks, again to try and encourage them. And you can see here we've got little runs of sticky weed that again will come through and just remove, otherwise that will dominate and basically mug your flowering wild seedlings that you want to try and encourage into this area. And that's as simple as it is really, just managing a bit of soil, not mowing, and allowing the natural spread seed to germinate and fill in to give this absolutely wonderful, confluent, so naturalistic flowering meadow, if you like. Is it a meadow? Not really, because we won't mow this or cut it back probably until very late in summer, end of July or even into August, and then it will just be scarified, cleaned over and allowed again to grow on to do this next year, and it will keep doing so. Every year will be slightly different. Last year this area was dominated by oxeye daisies. This year there's a lot more campion and cow parsley flowering through, and earlier in the season we've had forget-me-not and bluebells, and before that we've also got some snowdrops in here. So it's all coming together and will continue to flower right the way through till the end of June.